What is going on, guys? Pineapple Sway. It's time to be bringing you guys a different video today. But if you like what you see, please consider liking and subscribing. To start off, I'm going to be talking about Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League and talk about my 5 reasons or 5 things I'm looking forward to for the game. And if this video does well, then I will do another 5 things that I do not look forward to for the game. I know Suicide Squad has had a lot of backlash over the past year, and I feel like now is the perfect time, as recently the new announcement date got announced, and as it's just been delayed numerous times and having a lot of problems, I just want to put some positivity, I guess, into the community about Suicide Squad and talk about 5 things I look forward to. And like what I already previously mentioned, if you guys like what you see, please consider liking and subscribing. And if this video does well, I will do 5 things that I do not look forward to. And also, too, if you guys want to voice your opinions in the comments, go ahead. Down to discuss whatever, but please just try to keep this mostly positive for the most part. But let's get into the video. Starting with number 1 is probably being able to explore Metropolis. I feel like an open world Metropolis made by Rocksteady will just be insane. Honestly, can't even process it, and I feel like through the gameplay and stuff they've showed off so far, we really haven't been able to see much of Metropolis and what it has to offer. Having Metropolis as, your own playground just seems amazing, and I know Rocksteady is going to fill it with so many little Easter eggs and just make it a really fun experience for the fans. And also, too, I believe it's 3 times larger than the Arkham Knight map. I know, too, I think it'll be a much more diverse and expansive open world compared to what we got in Gotham Knights, as that was probably one of the worst adaptations of Gotham City we've ever got. And if you guys know me personally, you guys know how I feel about Gotham Knights. But on to number 2, and that will probably be Brainiac. I don't really know much about Brainiac, but I know that he's one of the most powerful villains in DC, and we've only really gotten to see him in a couple things, like Injustice. I really like him as the villain. When I first heard that it was going to be Brainiac, I was really confused. I didn't really understand why they picked Brainiac. But then when I realized the whole premises of the game, I understand it. Do I think we're going to fight Brainiac in the game? No, probably not. I think at some later point, though, we will, with future DLC or a future mission. I think the base game is just going to stick with the Justice League and stick to the game's title, which is Kill the Justice League, and we'll eventually fight Brainiac at some point. But yeah, I think Brainiac is such a cool addition to the game. I don't really know how they connect it all, as it's kind of crazy as going from Arkham Knight with Scarecrow as the main villain and then going to a universal threat like Brainiac and Justice League. Not sure how they're going to balance that all together, and honestly can't really think of how a Brainiac boss fight would go, which is why I don't think we will fight him in the main game. But I do think at a later date, though, we will fight him with future DLC, as I've already mentioned. And number 3 is the game is set in the Arkhamverse. Now, I know a lot of people have problems with this, as there's already a couple things that sort of don't make sense to why it's connected to the Arkhamverse. But honestly, I'm excited for that. I think it's going to be cool that it's set in the Arkhamverse. It's not the game that I exactly wanted to be, I guess, a sequel to Arkham Knight, but, the way I see it, a game is a game. It's set in the Arkhamverse, and I'm sure it'll be a cool and fun, expansive part to Arkham Knight, and I'm sure the flashbacks are going to be crazy, and it's all going to connect really well. I'm sure of that. But, once again, with, other stuff, I think it's because, Captain Boomerang's technically dead in the Arkham universe, and same thing with King Shark, and with Deadshot. I'm not even going to mention that, but if you haven't been living under a rock, you guys know what they did with Deadshot. I personally don't have a problem with it, but it really doesn't make any sense, and it just seems like lazy writing, in my opinion. But I'm sure they'll have a reason and an explanation in the story. They kind of already did, but once again, I'm excited that the game is set in the Arkhamverse. And plus 2, we didn't really know actually if Batman was dead or not at the end of Arkham Knight, but now we do know because of the reveal trailer they had a few months back after Kevin Conroy passed away. Rest in peace. So yeah, we kind of get an understanding that Batman is, in fact, alive. I'm not sure how much of an impact he'll have in the game. It'll be cool, though, to see. Maybe we get a flashback or something of what happened after Arkham Knight. I've been telling my friends I think the perfect opening would be Brainiac invading the Hall of Justice and taking out each member one by one, and then taking out Batman last, and then we get to see Wonder Woman escape, obviously. But yeah, enough rambling. I think it's awesome that it's set in the Arkham universe. I'm not sure how they're gonna connect everything, but I'm sure they have that covered, and I'm sure they've obviously planned that and have prepared for that. And second is the characters. I've already been talking about some of the characters, but one, the Justice League, obviously. I mean, it's been a long time since we've got the Justice League, I think, in anything good. Sorry, not a fan of Zack Snyder, but we really haven't seen the Justice League on the big screen, or not on the big screen, but in the video game world. Nothing comes to mind. But back to what I was saying. Like with the characters, obviously, like 1, Harley Quinn, 2, Deadshot, 3, Captain Boomerang and King Shark, and if they add, which they plan to add more characters in the future for DLC, and like I already said earlier, Brainiac, that's a cool character, and the Justice League, and other characters they revealed through the trailers and gameplay trailers. There's just going to be so many different characters, and it's going to be a really fun, cool experience to learn about these characters and meet them in the world of Metropolis. Now, lastly, which will be my final point and what I look forward to the most of Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League, and that is the story. I think the story, in my opinion, it's so unique and out of place that it makes it good. Honestly, I'm intrigued to see how this story will portray, and I'm just honestly excited. You would have told me 10 years ago that the next game in the Arkham series would have been the bad guys, or basically the bad guys versus the good guys, but the good guys are bad and the bad guys are good. I would have thought you were absolutely insane. Even if you told me it was a Suicide Squad game, I would have thought you were absolutely crazy. But here we are in 2023, and that's reality now. I look forward to the story. I'm not really sure how it's going to be done. I have a lot of different theories and opinions on the story. Not going to go into them, though, but I do have an idea of what they plan on doing. Once again, if you guys want to hear my opinions and thoughts on what I think they're going to do, I'll make a video on that, but let's just get back to the point. Fighting the Justice League is such a cool concept, especially with them being evil, because we don't really know what power they're going to hold with having access to, I really don't even know, Brainiac's mind, really, or Brainiac having access to their mind, technically. I just don't really know what they're going to do. They haven't showed off much of the Justice League, but from what we've seen, it looks pretty cool in my opinion. Like the Flash, Green Lantern, Batman, obviously. That was probably the best thing they've showed off out of all the marketing they've done, is probably Batman, not even gonna lie, and Superman. Honestly, I feel like throughout the story, which I'm kind of going off topic, I think they're gonna piggyback hard off Wonder Woman, but that's just my opinion. And maybe Batman will go back to normal and he has some failsafe to stop the Justice League members and Brainiac, because I assume he's planned for something like this, since the Justice League have been connected to the Arkhamverse, and they've been mentioned previously, but not much. But honestly, the story, in my opinion, it's just so unique and different is what makes it interesting. Like sort of with Arkham Knight, like when it first got announced that Scarecrow was going to be the main villain, I was really confused and didn't understand it, but then it ended up being a pretty solid story. Yeah, I have my problems with Arkham Knight, but it's still a great game. And same thing with Suicide Squad. Yeah, the game has a lot. It doesn't really have a lot going for it, but with the story and the other 5 things I mentioned is why I look forward to the game, and I'm excited. Sucks that it's coming out in February of next year, but I'm sure that it's obviously for the best. And whatever happens, happens. I'm probably going to enjoy the game. You don't enjoy the game, that's your opinion. But in my opinion, I think I'll be enjoying the game. But hey, if this video does well, you guys like what you see, I will make a top 5 reasons of what I don't look forward to. Anyways, though, it's Pineapple Sway. Peace out.